Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, guys. I hope you guys are doing well and enjoying my Python videos. This video is also from the Python playlist, and in this video, we will understand the for loop. We'll understand how the for loop works, what is for loop, and why it is important. By end of the video, we'll be able to understand the logic of a for loop and how it is useful in the real world examples. Right? So let's get started. Let me share my screen and understand and code on for loop. So all good. I have created one new ipynb file that is for underscore loops ipynb, and I'm going to explain entire for loop over here. And after this session, I will push this into my GitHub repo as I used to do in every videos, right? If you want, you can download this files from my GitHub repo. I'll give the link in the description and you can refer these codes. Perfect. So very important is that what is for loop? So as name suggests, it is something related to the loop, right? So loop, what is the meaning of loop? Doing something again and again is called a loop, right? In real world also, we are following a loop. Let's say we woke up in the morning, we do some morning activities, then we have a breakfast, and after that we go to the office, college, or schools, whatever, right? And at evening we again have a snacks, we go to play or gym, then again at night we study, we had a dinner, used to have a dinner, and then we sleep. So this loop we repeat every day, or you can say this activity we repeat every day, right? So this is nothing but a loop. We follow a loop. Similarly, in Python coding, if you want to execute some piece of code again and again, instead of writing that multiple time, why not to loop that under for loop, so that it will be easy and it will also a clean and readable format, right? So let's say you have a one list, and from the list you want to take out all the even numbers. Or let's say you have a one dictionary and you want to take out only the items from that is the value. So how you can do that? If you have let's say thousands of elements inside your dictionary, doing manually it will take a lot of times, right? So why not to write a logic and iterate through using a for loop, so that it will be easy, so you can take out all the items out of that, right? So this is nothing but a for loop. So for loop iterate the tuple, list, dictionary, string, and take out the meaning elements that can be executed for the down the line. Perfect. So let me write down over here how for loops work. So let's say the syntax of for loop is that we first write a for, a small for, then here should be variable, okay, then in, and here we write a statement that is iterator. This iterator can be a list, can be a dictionary, can be a string, can be a tuple, can be a set, or anything can, okay? And then we try to execute the code over here. Execute the code. It is important to follow the indentation. Actually, without indentation your for loop will not work. So generally whenever a new person who is not aware of, has not even coded in for loop, try to write, they do some mistakes. They sometimes forget to give the semicolon over here, and sometimes they start the next line from here, from the starting of the your next line. But it should not be. It should follow the indentation. It means as we follow the indentation in the if statements, same way we follow the indentation in the for loop as well. In the for loop, then after writing your for statement, that is for variable in iterator, and can be this iterator can be a list, can be a set, can be a tuple, can be a string, str, can be a dictionary. Perfect. As soon as this first line of code get execute, then the below code should start from here to follow the for loop command. If you write from the very beginning of the left, then it's not going to follow the command of your for loop. It means that this is independent and this code is independent. But actually, your below code, the for loop, should be dependent on your for loop. Okay, so it's always start from here. So this is how your syntax works in the for loop. Next, let's try to understand. I will take one list. So I will take, let's say, one list, and in the list I have 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6. This is the iterator. Okay, then I'll write for, let's say, I, or you can just write a j, or you can write k, anything. Okay, that is a variable, or you can give any name also, let's say var. Okay, int, I'll write l, and then below I'll write print of that var. And as soon as you do that, it is going to iterate through your list and going to give you all the elements whatever is available in the given list. How it's going to work, let's try to understand that. So very first is that we know we have a different elements over here, 1 to 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. As soon as loop starts, so the very first value of your list is going to assign to the what variable. So at the very first iteration, I'll write the first iteration over here. In the first iteration, your var is 1. Okay, it's 1. Then it will come to the next line and it will print this 1 over here. Then in the next iteration, your var becomes 2, and it comes to the again next line, that is print var, and you get this over here. In the third iteration, it is going to have a var again 3, and you get the value over here 3. In the fourth iteration, your var value become what? 4, and in fifth iteration, your var value become 5, and your sixth iteration, your var value becomes 6, and down the line, this print statement going to print all the value. And as all the element has completed from your given list, so this loop will get stopped. Until unless you don't access all the element, this loop is not going to stop. So it will try to execute everything whatever is available. Once it reaches to the last element of the given list, then it is going to stop there. So I hope you understand this. In every iteration, your variable have only one value, not all the value, and one by one is going to execute and give you the value. Perfect. So this is how your for loop works. If you have any doubt, don't forget to comment out. I'll reply on that. Okay, so now let's say that I have one tuple over here, and let's try to understand iterate through the tuple. So I have one tuple, and I'll write over here t equal to, let's say I'll write Prashant. Okay, then I'll write over here uh, let's say pl. Okay, then over here 1 comma 78 comma 45 comma 60 comma 60 56 comma 89. This is a tuple, right? If you want to check the type also, if you want to check the type also of this t, it is a tuple. Now we'll iterate through this. So what we'll write, for I in t, and over here print I. So this variable can be anything. You can give any name to this, but this iterable, not iterator, it is iterable. Actually, iterable should be only the list which you are defined earlier, right? Or the tuple you have defined earlier. Perfect. Now execute this. So you get all the element from the given tuple. Perfect. How it's going to work? So this for loop have itself under the hood, it has a iterator. So I think I have mentioned iterator. It should be iterable. It's a iterable, guys. So list, tuple, dictionary, and string all as iterable, and for loop has a iterator which iterate over the iterable. It's confusing. So let me explain over here. So I'll take next. So how this for loop going to execute? So as you write for I in t, your t is iterable. Okay, your t is iterable because it has a sequence. Perfect. It has a sequence. So your for this T is iterable. Now to iterate this, you need the iterable as well, right? So iterator is this I. Perfect. This I is a iterator which iterate over the iterable and get the value. So under the hood, this for loop itself have a iterator. Okay, so we no need to pass the iterator, but whenever we use the while loop, there is not having a iterable, sorry, iterator. It's confusing between iterable and iterator. So in the while loop, we don't have a iterator. We need to create that. But in the for loop, we have a iterator under the hood, which it create by itself. And that iterator help your variable, that is I, to iterate over the iterable. That is your tuple. I think it's clear, right? I'm I'm making sense, right, guys? Okay. So now let's go to a string iterator, iterable. It's confusing actually. A string iterable. So I'll just take, let's say, one a equal to, and over here I'll write, let's say, a Prashant. Okay. And let's try to execute this and try to iterate this using the for loop. So I'll write for, let's say, I in a, and then print I. So what is the issue? Okay, it should be here. Perfect. Now, as soon as I will execute this, it is going to iterate each and every word and is going to give that separately. So how this is going to work? So in the iterate, first iterate, it is going to take the P and execute assign to I, and that I is going to print over here P. Then in the next sequence or next, let's say, iteration, it is going to take the R and is going to print that. And next iteration is going to take A and so on till T and is going to give the each and every word from the given string separately. So can can you say that over here this string is also a iterable, right? Now you would be thinking that in the given tuple we also have a string over here Prashant. It has given all together, right? But in the given string it has given the word by word. Why? Because in the given tuple, the tuple is your iterable, so it is iterating over the tuple. So once the iteration will start, the first it will reach to what? Index 0 of the tuple and the word have Prashant. So it's going to execute and give over here, right? It is not again going to iterate over this because it is iterating the tuple, not the string. Try to understand that. It is iterating the tuple, but over here, your data type of variable A. A is what? A string. And it is going to iterate the string, and the string has these values. So that's why you get separate words over here. But in this tuple, or let's say in list, your T is tuple and it is iterating your tuple, not the elements inside that. Maybe the element inside that is at index 0 is a string. But if you want to again iterate that, then you have to use again one more for loop for that. At the first go, it is going to iterate only your tuple. I hope it's clear, guys, right? Now, next, let's take the next, and over here, try to check what? Set. So I'll take s equal to, let's say, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma again Prashant comma Python. Perfect. Now for j in s, so there is no rule, guys, to take j, I, anything you can take. It's on my wish, so I'm just taking j. In the previous code I've taken I. It's your wish, you can take x, y, z, anything, but your this sequence should be same whatever is mentioned over here. Perfect. So now let's print this j, and you will get the same over here. 1 2 3 4 5 6 Python and Prashant. But over here first is a Prashant, then Python. When why it is given Python and Prashant? Because set is a unordered element data type, I mean. So you cannot predict that the whatever the sequence you are going to give, it is going to get the same sequence. Now let's check the dictionary. So I'll take, let's say, d equal to over here name, and I will take write over here, let's say, Prashant, and over here, let's say, I'll write age, and I'll write over here 25, and then I'll write skill, let's say, and over here I'll write, let's say, Python. Okay, and then I will write over here, let's say, some number, and I'll pass the list of number 2 3 4 5 6, whatever it is. Perfect. So I have defined the list over here, and D is dictionary. Perfect. I have defined the list over here, and my D is a dictionary. Now let's try to iterate the dictionary. So first I'll write for I in D dot keys, and I'll print this, print I. So as soon as I write d dot keys, it is going to give you all the key of that given dictionary. So this is the one of the, you can say, method of the dictionary to get all the what keys. So if you just write over here, let's say this also, you are going to get all the dictionary keys. Perfect. Now next is, let's say I want to write for I in d dot items. Okay, so in the item, if you try to print this I, you will get both name, Prashant, age, skill, and like key and value you are going to get over here. That is in the form of tuple. But if you want here two variable, one variable should have a key and other variable should have a value, that also you can do that. So you can write I comma j. Okay, and you can just print. So see, I assign all the keys, right? And if you just print j, j will assign all the values. But if you want to print both I and j, then you can just write I comma j, and you have this value over here. Perfect. And if you want to make this little more understandable, so what you can do over here, that you can pass some of the string. That is good to understand how is all are different, and you can pass over here, let's say, this string. Okay, now see, name, Prashant, age, skill, and number. So I is nothing but keys, and j is dictionary. There's a other way also. So over here you can use the keys to get all the key of given dictionary. If you write items, you can get all the keys and values. But if you want only values, then how you can get that? So that is also possible for I in, let's say, d dot keys. Perfect. And over here I will write, so we know that the I will get all the key, and if I want the value, can I write over here print d of I? What is the meaning of that? So let's say that one of the key is name, and if I write, let's say, over here name, it should not be this, it should be name. You can get the key out of that. So if you slice your dictionary using the key, you can get the value, right? We have already seen this kind of code in the dictionary video, right? So similar way, I am passing, instead of writing hard coding the keys, I am just passing the I. Why? Because I know whenever I write over here for I in d dot keys, it is going to get all the keys. So first keys will be name, right? That will assign to the I, which is my variable, right? Name, then there will be a age, perfect. Then there will be a skill, and then there will be a number. So all those all those keys will get assigned to I. And what I'm doing, I'm using this property of dictionary over here to get the key, because at the first iteration your I value is name, and over here d of I is something that d of name, so you're getting the Prashant. In the second iteration your I value is age, so in the print d of I is nothing but d of age, and you get the 25, and so on. And the last iteration your I value is number, so d of number is all the given list. So this is how you can iterate your inbuilt data type. Now let's jump to the some of the question and try to understand how this for loop we are going to use in the real world. So you understand the fundamentals of for loop, how it's going to work. You have one for, that is for small, then you have a variable, then we write in, then we have a sequence, or you can iterable, right? Iterable. Then for loop itself create a what? Iterator, and iterate your variable through the iterable, right? Iterator iterate over the iterable and get the value out of that. I hope it's clear, guys, right? Oh my god, take a lot of effort to explain. Now come to the next code, that try to get the range of number using the for loop. Range of number using a for loop. What I'll do, I'll write for I in range and I'll write 10 over here, let's say. And let's see how is going to work and what is going to give you that. So it is going to give you 0 to 9. I have just given 10. So it is going to create the range of the number from, and by itself is going to start 0 and the highest is 9. Like an index, guys. Always index start from 0 and end with whatever is given. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Right? But let's say, for example, over here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are given. But if you count the index, it is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you give 10, it is going to give you that 0 to 9. If you give over here, let's say 11, it is going to give you 0 to 10, right? And if you give, let's say 20, it is going to give you 0 to 19. So if you don't define over here the lower range and upper range, it always start from your 0 and give upper range minus 1, the total value, right? So it's like that. Now define the range with lower and upper range. So over here, let's say for I in, over here, let's write 2 to 10. Can you please pause the video and comment out what are the values is going to give? So it is going to give 2 to 9. Sorry, I forgot to write the range, guys. 2 to 9. Why? Because always higher range minus 1. So if you want 10, you have to write 11. I think I have explained this, right? Upper range minus 1, it is going to return always in the list as well, in the tuple as well, right? So if you want the 10, you have to write 11. If you want the, let's say if you write 10, you are going to get the 9. So it's always n minus 1. So I have defined the lower range as 2 and it's always start from there, and the higher 10. So it is going to return 10 minus 1, 9. So let's say if I define over here 1, so 1 to 9. But if I want 1 to 10 over here, so I'll define over here 11. Now create a range from 1 to 20. So what you will do, for I in range 1 comma 21 will write, okay? And then over here we are going to write print and I. So you will get 1 to 20. Perfect. Next, create a range from 1 to 20 with skip of 2. So what we'll do, for I in range 1 comma 21 comma 2 will write. So let's see what is going to give you. Let's write over here I. So over here, if you see that first is 1, then second should be 2, but skip that and giving 3. Then 4 is keeping 1 and giving 5. So you have written 2 over here, means it is going to skip the 1 value. So how it's going to be? Let's say you have a value over here 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on till 20. But as soon as you write 2, means you're skipping 1 value. So first it will going to give this. Then after the second value is this one. So it is going to give this 3. After the second value is this one. So it is going to give this. After the second value is 7. So it is going to give the 7. After this is going to be 9, right? And like this, it is skipping 1 value. At the end, you get 19. It's clear? So this is how this range works. Now, let's try to find out that find all the even number between 1 to 20. So this is the actual question. So we understand the for loop, guys. Now we have to find out the even number between 1 to 20. Now the question is, what is even number? A number which is divisible by 2 is an even number, right? So next over here is, let's say if I write 4, okay? And if I divide by 2, it is divisible. So how you are going to check any number is divisible by 2 or not in Python code? So if the remainder is 0, it means that that number is divisible by what? 2, right? Perfect. So how you will check that the number is divisible by 2 in the Python? So you will divide by modular division. So let's say if I write 5 modular division by 2, you will get the remainder 1, right? Because 2 2s are 4 and 5 minus 4, remainder is 1, right? So this is the modular division. We will check and we'll try to evaluate if the remainder is 0, that number is divisible by 2, and if the number is divisible by 2, that number is even number. Perfect. You understand the logic? Now, I want to find out from 1 to 20. So what we can do? Shall I write a list over here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 till 20? No, right? Because we can use the range function over here directly. Instead of writing the complete list from 1 to 20, we can give the range. So I'll write for I in range of 1 comma 21, correct? Because n minus 1 is going to return. So it will return you what? It will going to return you only 1 to 20. Perfect. So we have this. Now we don't want all the value. We want only the even number. So how you're going to check that? If the number, if your I is divisible by that 2, then it is a even number. So I'll write if condition over here. If your I modular division by 2 is equal to 0, then you can print that number over here. And you have the number 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. How is going to work? Let's try to understand one by one. Okay. So over here, you know that whenever you write a range, it is going to create a range of what? 1, 2 to 20. Perfect. It is going to create a 1 to 20 range. Now, in the first iteration, your I equal to 1. So it will come to this value. In the if condition, your I is 1 and 1 modular division by 2 is equal to 0. If it is that, then is going to print. What is going to print? Your I. So if your I is 1, then 1 modular division by 2 is not, your remainder is never ever 0. Why? Because 1 is not divisible by 2. So it is not going to print this. It is not going to execute this line of code because it is inside this if condition. Okay. Next, in the next iteration, your iteration number 2. In the iteration number 2, your I become 2. If your I become 2, then it will come in the if condition, and in the if condition, your I is 2. 2 modular division by 2. Of course, 2 is divisible by 2. So it is become true. It is become true. Why? Because 2 division by 2, modular division by 2 is equal to 0. So 0 is equal to 0, which is true, right? So if it is true means it will going to execute this line of code, that is print, and you are going to get over here 2. Next, in the next iteration, your that is third iteration, your I is what? 3. If your I is 3, then again, let me write correctly over here. 3. I is 3. And 3 modular division by 2 is not equal to 0. If it is not 0, you are getting over here false, right? What you are getting over here? You are getting false. If it is false, it will not go to the print to print your I, and it will again go to the for loop. And in the next iteration, your fourth iteration, your I become 4. So this is how it's going to work. In the first iteration, your I is 1. It will come over here and it will check that I1 is divisible by 2. It is not. So you will get a reminder as a 1, and 1 is not equal to 0. So it is going to return what? False. If it is a false, it will not go to the print function. It will directly jump from here to the for loop and again assign I equal to 2, and so on. It will check till I equal to 20. And once the I equal to 20 assigned, that loop will stop and your program will stop. Clear, guys? I've given all the energy to explain this. Still you have a doubt? You can comment out and I'll explain that. All good? Now let's move to the next question. That is, I have over here, let's say one list. That is L equal to, let's say I have some fruits, apple, okay. Next, I have over here, let's say banana. I have guava, okay. And next, I have, let's say orange. Perfect. Now let's iterate this. For I in L, and over here, print I. You have all the fruits over here assigned to I. Now what I want to do that, whenever it reach to Java or in simple language, I have this list, but I want to change that. I want to make Java to some other fruit. Let's say I want to write plum. So what I'll do over here, that I'll write if I is equal to Java. If the I is equal to Java, then L of I is equal to plum. And then let's take L. One second, I did a mistake because I is going to get the element. It's not going to get the index of that, right? So if it is a I is the Java, it means that you have an element. And if you want to change that, then you have to write L dot index of I. And then I think it's going to execute. And no, one second, guys, one second. Let's say that I'm writing over here Java. L of I is not giving anything. I should get the index of this, right? So how we can get the index? Dot index. One second. I should write this. I did a mistake over here. Java is not in the list. Java is not in the list. Pauva is there, right? Yeah, it is at the index number 2. So if I assign this to, let's say plum, I'm comparing, sorry, it should be assignment. Cannot assign the function call here. Maybe you mean equal to instead of this. No, I don't want to equal to that. Okay, let me take this. List index must be integer or slice or str. So if I pass over here, let's say 2, then it's going to work, right? If I take L, then it is a plum. So I need the index over here. It should be index. Then only is going to work. So let's execute this again. And how we can get the index of that? So L dot index, and if I write over here, let's say Java. If we write a Java, G-U-A-V-A, Java, we get the index 2. So what I'll do over here, that I'll get the index of this first. So index equal to L of I, pass over here. So this index will have a 2. The index of Java is 2, so it will assign to this. Then I can write over here L of index, and that will be your plum, going to assign to that. Now execute this. It should work. And now it's run this. No. Why? So L of index. Let's print over here what is the issue. Print of index. DAUVA is correct only, right? If I is GAVA, then it's going to come over here, then L of index and print that. Correct. Now, done guys. There was some issue with this line of code over here. It was not comparing properly over here. So how it's going to work? Let's try to execute and show you one by one. So what I have done that I have assigned one list. I have created one list. In list, I have a apple, banana, guava, and orange. Perfect. What I want that I want to change guava to plum. So what I'll do first, I will iterate that for I in L. So this I variable will have a all the element one by one which is available in my list. So first apple, then banana, then guava, then orange, right? Whenever the I get the value GAVA, then we'll check if I is equal to GAVA. Whenever I is GAVA, in that time, I'm going to get the index of that. So I of index of I, sorry, L of index of I. It means that it is going to return the index of your GAVA. So 0, 1, 2. So index will become 2. Okay. And then L of 2 equal to plum. So at that index, I am assigning the value plum. Perfect. And if you run this and you run your list again, you will get the plum over here. Perfect. So if you did not understand again, let me write and explain you. In the first iteration, in your first iteration, your I will be apple, right? In the second iteration, your I will be banana. Perfect. And in the third iteration, your I will be GAVA, GAUVA, GAVA. In the fourth iteration, your I will be orange. This much is clear, right? Now, in the first iteration, as I become apple, it will come over here. Apple equal to GAVA, it is false. If it is false, it will go to again to the for loop. Then second iteration will start and I become banana. So again, once the I become banana, it will check the if condition. Banana equal to GAVA, it is false. Again, it will go to the for loop and it will start the next iteration, that is third one. So next third iteration, your I will be GAVA. So again, it will come over here. I is GAVA, so GAVA equal to GAVA, it is true. As soon as it's true, it is going to come over here. And in this I of index of I is nothing but your GAVA. Okay, inside that. So L of index of I, it is going to return you 2, index 2, right? As we have done, see over here. L of index of GAVA, instead of GAVA, if you write I and I is equal to, let's say GAVA, GAUVA GAVA, then it is going to return 2. So that in index 2 is going to assign to your variable index over here. Then what I am doing, L of index equal to plum. So I'm writing over here, L of 2 is equal to plum. And then your index 2 get assigned plum over here. Hope it's clear, guys, right? Perfect. All good. Now, what we'll do that, let's try to understand. I have a one given range 1 to 100. Okay. So, given range is 1 to 100. All set. I want to find out, or I want to list out even number and odd number into a different or separate list and make a dictionary out of that. So, list out even number and odd number in in separate list and separate list and make a dictionary out of that. Dictionary out of that. Okay, so how is going to work this? Let's try to execute and see that. So first is saying 1 to 100. So what I will do, I'll take a range of, for I in range of 1 comma 101. Perfect. Now if you print this, print of I, not 1, it should be I. So you will get all the value from 1 to 100. Now we have to find out the even number and odd number, and we have to assign in different lists, one even list and one odd list. So I will take two empty lists over here. Even list equal to one empty list, and odd list equal to one empty list. Perfect. Now what I'll do over here, I will basically going to write if your I modular division by 2 is equal to 0, it means that that is the even number. So I'll write even number dot append what? I. You know append function, right? In the list we have studied, right? Even number dot, sorry, even list, not even number. Even list dot append. Else odd list dot append, and over here write I. Perfect. And then we need to make a dictionary out of that. So let's say I'll take a list of number equal to, over here I'll take even number is nothing but even list comma, and over here odd list, that is my key, sorry, odd number is nothing but odd list. Execute this. Once you execute this, you get the even list and odd list, and all are under the dictionary. Dictionary is actually bigger, so you are not able to understand this. So what I'll do, that I will, to make it clear, what I'll do, that I will change this to some small number. Let's say I'm going to take this as a 30. Okay, to explain you. Now see over here, in the given dictionary you have an even number, in that you have a 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, and all the odd number 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, so on till 29. So how is going to work? Let's see one by one over here. So first I have taken the two empty list. One is even list, one is an odd list. Okay. Then I am making a range 1 to 30. So it is going to give you the 1 to 29, right? As you know that. So it is going to give you 1 to 29, 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma so on till 29, not 30, because it's always n minus 1. Perfect. So this is how it is. Now in the first iteration your I is 1. So as I is 1, it will come over here. So 1 modular division by 2 is equal to 0. It is going to return 1. And 1 equal to 0 is going to give you false. And once this if condition, this if statement is false, it is jump to the else condition. In the else condition, it is going to directly append that I into your odd list. So what is your I? This is 1, and this is going to append over here in your odd list. So if you see over here in the odd list, the first value will be 1 over here. Correct? Similarly guys, the second iteration, in the second iteration, your second value of I will be 2, right? So 2 modular division by 2 equal to 0. That is going to return true, right? That's going to return the true. 1 second. So once it is true, this statement is true, it is going to execute this line of code. So in the even list, it is going to append your this 2. Perfect. Then again, it will move to the next iteration and your I become 3. So once your I equal to 3, it will come to the if statement and it will check your 3, that is nothing but your I modular division by 2 is equal to 0. It is going to return what? 1, right? It is going to return 1 and 1 is not equal to 0, so it is going to return false. And once it is false, and it will come to the else condition and it will append to the odd list. Once this even list and odd list completed, once your iteration will complete from 1 to 29, your if statement will get completed and your even list and odd list will be ready. Then I will make one dictionary. I have taken one variable list number. In that, I have taken a key as an even number and the value is an even list. This even list which is ready with the number. Okay, and then I've taken again one more key, that is a odd number and value as a odd list, which is this one with the number, and at the end I'm returning this over here, and you have a even list and odd. Perfect. This is how is going to be. Okay, so next is return index and list of element. Perfect. List of element. So what I'll do over here, I'll take, let's say, that same even number. Even number. This even number should work. Let me copy and paste over here. Even number is not defined. Why so? Let's run this and then run this one. EVENNUM. It should work. Sorry, it's an even list, not even number, right? That's why it's not working. Okay, even list. We have this list and we need to return the index of each element as well as the element. So what I'll do over here, I'll write for I in enumerate, MERATE, enumerate even list, okay? And then print I. And you have a, let's say, you have over here index and their element as well. But if you want not to assign your index and element into the same variable, you can write over here I comma j as well. Print I, or let's say make more contextual. So write over here f, and over here index is I and value is, let's say, j. Okay. Now index is 0 and value is 2. So like that, you have an index and you have a value both. I represent the index and j represent the value over here. Perfect, guys. Okay, so next question is uh, find out the number which, or whose unit place is 5. Find out the number whose unit place is 5 from the range of 1 to, let's say, 50. So from the 1 to 50, I have to take out all those number have a unit place 5. So let's example 5. Next 5, 15. Next 25, like that. So for I in range of 1 to 51, right? This is going to give you what? The range of 1 to 50. Now, if your I and modular division of 10 is equal to 5, then print that number. And you have a 5, 15, 25, 35, 45. Perfect. Similarly, if I ask 3, then make it 3 over here. And then you have a 3, 13, 23, 33, and 43. Okay, so next code is write the table of 5. So let's try that one. So write a table of 5. That is 5 ones are 5, 5 twos are 10, all those things, right? So how we can do that? So for I in a range of, let's say it's a range, right? RANG, range of 1 to 11. Perfect. Now, so over here you just write print, and it should be table of, let's say I'll write over here, table of 5 is, you keep this print like this, and then write over here print 5 into I, okay, equal to 5 into I. Let's print this. So, or just remove this part. Now 5 into 1, 5 2 is 10, 5 into 3 15, 5 into 4 20, 5 into 5 25, and 5 into 7 35, 5 into 9 45, 5 into 10 50. So this is how you can write the table of 5. So now why not to make it dynamic? So user will enter the number and it will return that table of that number. So I'll write over here user input over here. Okay, user input equal to int and input. Perfect. And over here enter the number to make a table. So what I'll do that instead of this 5, I will pass this user number over here and over here as well. Perfect. And now let's say I'll enter over here 6. So this is the table of 6. And you can write over here, let's say print, this is the table of user input, and make this f string. Perfect. Now let's execute again 6. So this is the table of 6, and here you can find the execution of that. Perfect. Now next is that write a table, write a Python code, not a table, write a Python code to return a table from 1 to 20. So write a Python code to return a table from 1 to 20. Again, I did a mistake over here. It should be table. Okay. So over here, what I'll write, I'll take a for I in range of 1 to 21, because I need to get the table of 1 to 20. So this is the, let's say, print. This is the table. This is the table of I means whatever the value it will be, that table. So let's say if I value is 1, so it is a table of what? It will be the table of 1. Perfect. Next, again, for j in range of 1 comma 21. Okay. And then it should not be 1 comma 21, it should be 1 comma 10, because table always start with the, or we'll try to fine tune that if it is required, right? Then write over here print, let's say I into j. Let me first execute this. I think it should be 10, guys. It should be 11. So now 1 to 10. Yeah, perfect. So this is the execution. So over here, right, I into j equal to I into j. Perfect. And then over here, right, print, and let's make some kind of decoration so that it can give the difference that from where the table is starting and where is ending. See, the table of 1 into 1, 1 into 2, 1 into 3, 1 into 4, 4, 1 into 5 into 5, and 1 into 10 into 10, right? Table of this is the table of 2. So 2 ones are 2, 2 twos are 4, 2 threes are 6, and 2 fours are 8, 2 fives are 10, and so on, 2 tens are 20. Then this is the table of 3. So why it is 20 into 8? After 2 is directly 20. No, it's a table of 3, but it is not showing over here. So for that, scroll the element. Now you can find all over here. Perfect. So let's start from the beginning. So table of 1, table of 2, table of 3. 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6, 3 fives are 15, 3 tens are 30, right? Next, this is the 8 table, this is the 14th table, this is the 15th, this is 16th, and then 17th, 18, 19, and 20. So how this code is working, I will explain in the next video. This is the example of nested for loop. Perfect. So till that, please stay connected and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you in the next video, guys. Thank you so much.